Welcome to the Awesomeness in Action radio show. I'm your host, Roshana Price, known as the Giver of Awesomeness, international author, coach, speaker, and trainer. This show is sponsored by Erie Success. Erie Success is a corporate entity that helps their partners and their clients overcome adult bullying and conflict resolution. We are also sponsored by Ilika Follett. She is a keto coach and helps her clients understand how to overcome their weight loss issues and journey towards a better health. You can learn more about both of our corporate sponsors by going to their websites. ErieSuccess.com is for Erie Success, EYRIE success.com. You can also find out more about Ilika Follett by going to lifehealthnow.com, or you can find her on Instagram as the Keto Mommy Makeover. All right, today we have with us on the show Carmen Ventrucci, and she is an amazing coach who helps entrepreneurs understand their business model, how to grow their business, and she has a company, and you can learn more about her by going to her website, the SISUlife.com. So Carmen, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Wonderful, Roshana. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm glad you're here because we've never met in person. However, we've been on lots of calls together. So tell listeners more about you and how you are traveling the country right now with your husband and 6 kids in an RV. So we've got lots to talk about today.
Oh, yes. Let's start there, shall we?
Let's do
And
it.
so for everybody listening, you may not be aware, I'm actually doing this interview with Roshana in my car because we decided to pack up our 6 kids and our dog, my husband and I, and travel across the USA for 9 months while our kids distance learn. And so we are from Minnesota. Our first stop was Mount Rushmore. I am currently in Houston, Texas. We're making a big rectangle across the USA, and we are having a blast. We are so glad we did this. Consequently, the car, which we have named the Beast, because it's a beast to tow a trailer and 8 people and a dog at the same time, has become my mobile office. And so it's quite frequently that I sit in the passenger seat, just like I am now, working with clients, doing interviews like this one with Roshana, and just making those connections and running my business.
Yeah.
So
which is the beauty of a business, and it's
yours. This is the laptop lifestyle, quite literally and figuratively. So it's a lot of fun. We decided to turn our adventure into a YouTube channel. And so if you go to YouTube, look for the Ruby Road like a street. Our camper is named Ruby, so we have Ruby and the Beast, and we document all of our adventures, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it's a lot of fun. Everything is kid-friendly on the YouTube channel, and you'll also find my podcast there. I decided, since I'm traveling the country and meeting all sorts of interesting people, let's make a podcast out of it, and let's talk to these people and interview them and find out what makes them tick, find out how they follow their own road.
Yeah, how do they follow their own road? I love your podcast and everything that you have on YouTube because you're really showing what it means to be a mom, to homeschool or road school, I guess you would call it.
Road school. I like that. Road school. Yes.
Yeah, road school. And ultimately to be an example for your children and the world that watches about what it means to really bet on yourself.
Right.
Really go for it and to not have limits on where you live and what happens, because you guys were outside of Minneapolis and St. Paul, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you were there actually when there was when the incident happened with George Floyd, like you were pretty vocal about that. So how have you seen the world differently, or the United States, as you've been traveling it? What is one thing that you've seen differently on the road that surprised you?
We are more alike than we are different. And so we've been to, I think we're on our 11th state on this trip. There's going to be 30 states we hit in all. And everywhere we have gone, we have found that people are, for the most part, extremely welcoming, extremely nice. Most of them have a smile on their face. And that's been so comforting, is the word that came to my mind. That's been very comforting to see, because the media is showing us a very polarized America, which, yes, absolutely, that can be true. There's also a lot of people who are very united. And that's what we've seen on this trip, is that people really are very united.
Yeah. Yeah. And united and together, that's how we
Hmm.
change our country, the
Yes.
US, or how we change the world.
Hmm.
And this is all also the time where we're celebrating Black History Month, Women's
Yep.
History Month. Like we're just in this season of celebrating
Hmm.
as we're in the first quarter of 2021. I know that you
Hmm.
used to actually work in corporate America and then you quit your job because it was really
Hmm.
holding you back from doing what you were called to do, that awesomeness that you want to give to the world. So share with listeners a little bit more about your journey and what you're doing now.
Wonderful. So yes, you are right, Roshana. June 4th, 2019 is what I call my corporate dropout date. That is the
Yes.
day I left corporate America to go full time into my business and really just take that plunge and go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a few events that led up to that. I was doing well in corporate America. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing well at my job. I was making decent money. I had no reason to leave except it wasn't fulfilling anymore.
Yeah.
And so, as I went through that journey, there were times I absolutely loved my job and I got tons and tons of fulfillment. As time went on, it started to be less and less fulfilling. And I realized that I have more to give. I have other ways to be awesome than staying in that job.
Mm-hmm.
And so my journey, and I had a couple wake up calls leading up to my corporate dropout date that really helped make that decision easier. And so about a year prior to me leaving my corporate job, so around April of 2018, we went from 4 kids to 6 kids literally overnight. My oldest 2 kids are actually my nieces
Okay.
who had to come live with us.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been with us since then, almost 3 years now. I'm happy to say we are now officially their legal guardians. They were
Yes.
foster kids with us for a little bit. And so that is just something to celebrate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, going
Yes.
from 4 kids to 6 kids overnight, that's a challenge.
Yeah,
Like
that's
even
life
though they are
changing.
family, even though
Absolutely.
yeah, it's life changing. It's life changing for them. It's life changing for us. It's life changing for our 4 kids that are mine and my husband's biologically.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was like but there was a lot of shuffling involved. You're balancing a a, a challenging home life at that point with working, and it's tough.
Yeah.
It's absolutely tough. The kicker was in March of 2019, so a couple months before I left my job, my sister, who at the age of 36 at the time, suffered a massive stroke.
Wow.
And I was actually out of state at the time. She was back in Minnesota. I got a text from my other sister, and I knew immediately she's having a stroke.
Something's wrong.
She
Mm-hmm.
underwent, yeah, she underwent life-saving emergency brain surgery that night. She made it through the surgery. I'm happy to say she is at home with her 2 girls and her husband. She's still recovering. Stroke recovery is a marathon,
Yeah.
and for her, it is definitely a marathon. She's doing well and she survived.
Good. Good.
Yet
Good.
that was a huge wake-up call. And this is what that forced me to look at things with a different lens and a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That was really the kick in the butt for me.
Okay.
I was planning on exiting corporate America on December 31st of 2019. Because of that, I said, I'm not waiting that long. I accelerated my plans. I started taking action and I
Mm-hmm.
left June 4th, 2019, almost 7 months ahead of schedule.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so just having those couple, and there was a few other things that happened in there. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to get into the details of that, but it all compounded. And it
Mm.
was just like, what am I doing? I have other ways to be awesome.
Yes.
Why am I waiting to go be awesome? Go be awesome now.
Go be awesome now. There's no need to wait because the time is going to keep moving. And like you
Mhm.
said, it compounds. So if you just keep waiting,
Yeah.
there's going to be more and more hardship. And oh, by the way, all
Hmm.
of the people that you've helped since then grow their
Hmm.
businesses, step into their power, be able to really live what you call the SISU life.
Yes.
Share with the listeners a little bit more about the background of how your company name came to be.
Wonderful. So my company is called True Sisu Life. So if you go to www.truesisulife.com, you're going to learn all about it. So
Yes.
let's talk about the word Sisu for a minute, because a lot of people might hear this and go, what the heck is that?
Yes.
So Sisu is actually a Finnish term. So despite the very Italian sounding name, I am Finnish on my mom's side of the family.
Okay.
And I always grew up knowing what this word meant. My grandpa could speak Finnish until the day he passed away. There's no direct translation into English. Essentially what it means, it's grit, determination, and tenacity, no matter the obstacle, no matter the odds. It is just a beautiful concept. I just love it. So my belief is very powerful. My belief is that we all have a little bit of SISU within us. It's not about being Finnish. It's not about your ethnicity or your background. It's something about the human spirit that we all have. Because there are times when we need to display that grit, determination, and tenacity to get through whatever life's journey has in store for us. Like my sister, who had the stroke, she is the epitome of SISU. She, statistically, she should not have survived by any means. And she did. And she's doing awesome. So we all have that SISU within us. And true SISU life, like true, whatever your true north is, SISU, you have this power to go live the life that you love. And so that's how the company name came about. And SISU is, it's really part of my brand. It's part of my family's brand. Almost every company, almost every business I run has a little bit of SISU in it, just because I love the concept. It is so powerful. And so that's what I help people do. And there's different ways to get there. What I help people do is through their business, live the life they love. Because your business is a mechanism to help you go do what you want. Your business is a mechanism to help serve the people you want to serve with your products, goods, and services.
Absolutely.
And so me taking this RV trip across the country is an example of me living the life I want. I designed my business to support us while we are on the road without missing a beat. And that's what I mean, and I have several ways I can help other business owners do that.
And that's like the example of what you're talking about. Powerful because so often people say, oh, I have tenacity, I have grit, I have determination. And then when it gets hard, when the going gets tough, they aren't the tough that get going. They actually stop in it. And so you're a living example of that. And so the word SISU is SISU. And so truesisulife.com, I want to make sure the listeners get that because it is TRUESISU life.com is where listeners can go to learn more about you and your company and the ways in which that you support all of the work that you're doing with entrepreneurs. Is there one project you're working on right now that you're really excited about that you want to share?
Yes. And so back when I was in the corporate world, I got the nickname, the girl with the golden shovel, because I was the one they would send in to find the money. Right? Something's going on. Something's not right. Carmen, go figure it out. I now am doing that as in a consulting capacity with business owners as well. And so I take a look at your business, and most likely I can find you at least $10,000 within 45 minutes.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Like, who doesn't want an extra $10,000, right? Now you might have to change your process. You're going to have to try a few things different. You're going to have to take some different action to get it. I can still find it. And so that's one thing I'm working on right now with business owners. That is, it's just so much fun to like see their wheels turning, and they're making those connections in their mind. I mean, they're already great business owners, that they're surviving and they're thriving. Let's help them survive and thrive more. It's so much fun. I love being the girl with the golden shovel. It's kind of like a James Bond movie title to me. That's what it sounds like.
I could see that. That could be like, you need to take some photos with like
some photos with the golden shovel.
Golden shovel, yeah. And digging in deep into the really, it's like they're into the ideas that they have to bring them forward and monetize them.
Exactly.
It's exciting. Yeah. So all the listeners out there, if you're an entrepreneur, you have a business, it's thriving, and you're like, there's still more, or you're leaving money on the table, or you've got ideas that you haven't moved on, I want you to make sure that you contact Carmen. So you can go to truesisulife.com. You can also find Carmen on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We will be linking and posting so that you can find her quickly. She is the she's known as the golden shovel girl. We were talking about that right before. And so Carmen is going to take some pictures and we're going to market them because she's going to have this golden shovel because she helps entrepreneurs find money in their business. And who doesn't want that? Take those golden ideas and turn them into gold. That could be a tagline, Carmen. I'm just throwing that out there to you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll
take
use it.
that.
I'll work it in.
Work it in there. Yeah. And we just played one of your favorite songs. It's old school, Hootie and the Blowfish. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Old school. Hold my hand. I remember kind of where I was. I think I was in high school or
I had
yeah.
that CD. I had the CD
Ooh.
back in the 90s.
CDs, right? Like some may
CDs.
some may be like, what is that? It's yes,
Hmm.
that was
Yeah,
back.
you had the whole CD tower with all your music. Yeah. Hmm.
Yep. Now it's like it's all digital, it's all
Hmm.
downloaded. Absolutely. Yeah. So you were sharing before about this new project that you're working on that we were talking about where you're finding the money. What other things do you have going on? I know that you are a best-selling author, you've been
Hmm.
on the best-selling list. So share a little bit more with listeners about other projects and things that you do.
Wonderful. So, yes, I am an international best-selling author. I
Yes.
have two books actually that have earned that title. And the wonderful thing is that they've been compilation books with other authors. And so you get, when you're the reader of this book, you get a lot of interesting perspective from many different walks of life.
Mhm.
And it's fun to read these books because you will find a little piece of yourself within each story that each author writes. And you might relate to one more than the other.
Mhm.
And so if you go to Amazon, you look for the You Can Overcome Anything series, you will find a couple books there that I have been a part of. They're quick reads, they're inspirational reads, and again, they're they're nice because you're going to connect with these authors in one way or another.
Ooh, compilation books. So
Hmm.
you're a collaborator for sure in
Yes.
that you do. And
Hmm.
this is Women in History Month.
Hmm.
So as you think about the collaborations and the history that you are now writing, what are some things that you're proud of and excited about?
That is a great question. I am really proud of the Ruby Road. We already talked about that. I mean, talk about collaboration with your own family.
Mm-hmm.
This is a major example and a major testimony that it can be done.
Yeah. And
So,
your
I mean,
videos, like just real quick, because I have seen when you post the videos and you're putting,
mhm,
so on the side, let me back up for listeners. On the
mhm,
side of the camper, Ruby, there is a map of the United States
mhm,
and there is like a sticker day. And so once you've gone to be on in that state, then you put the sticker up.
mhm.
And it's like a big deal. It's kind of like the trophy of the Ruby Road.
Yes, yes, that is exactly it because the kids, like everybody takes turns putting up
Hmm.
a sticker. Like people are like, I get this state, and I'm like, I get this state, and it's kind of like, okay, you get to do Texas or you get to do California. And so it is like a rite of passage for everybody in the family to get their stickers and be able to like be on live on Facebook, putting the sticker on the map on Ruby. So yes, it is a trophy. It's great, and you know it's a sign that we've accomplished something. Yes, it is a sticker, yet it's still symbolic for us.
Absolutely. And it's history. I
Hmm.
mean, because I know that there are people watching or that
Hmm.
will continue to watch and share your journey that have wondered if it's possible. Could I
Right.
do that? Right? Like, could
Hmm.
you really? I mean, you have a great house waiting
Yeah.
for you to go back to.
Yeah.
So it's not like you were without something. It was this inner
Hmm.
knowing that the kids won't be this age. They're gonna grow up. They're not gonna want to be around you, right? Like
You
all the
know,
yeah.
my oldest daughter, Sophia, she's about to turn 9 years old. In fact, but she's 9 years old. Let's put it that way. She's halfway to 18.
Right.
I only get 9 more years with her.
Hmm.
I mean, when you think about it that way, she's through half her childhood.
That is, oof. Yeah,
And
Zoe
it's
is
just
9. Yeah.
amazing. It's just amazing to think about it like that. You're just like, I'm so glad we're doing this because it's not that we're running out of time. It's that we're making the most of the time we have. And we're
Hmm.
making the most of this opportunity to go take this trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm,
To do this, seize the moment and the
mhm,
time and live the true Sisu life, which
mhm,
is your brand. It's really who you are.
mhm,
And you're modeling that because for your children and for your husband, for the world that's watching, it's an example of, okay, this is what it means to live free and to do it on your own terms and to
mhm.
give back. And that's a powerful lesson that unfortunately sometimes we don't get in a traditional school
Right,
setting or we don't
right.
get in terms of our environments. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's I think history that I would say that you're making right now that and that I would like to celebrate with you. as
Thank you.
well. Yeah.
Yes.
So what other things are you excited about that are coming up in 2021?
So I have three pillars to my business. So there's really like when clients hire me, when people come to me, they come to me for one or more of three things. It's the business mindset, clarity in your business, or the mechanics, like how do I do my business?
Yeah.
And so I am really excited because I'm going to be starting a new training for business owners and other professionals, sales professionals in
Ooh,
particular, NLP for business. And
okay.
so I'm going to start teaching business professionals how to better communicate, how to get rid of some of the limiting beliefs they have, how to be better at their business, and even just be better at reading signals from other people they might
Yeah.
be doing business with so that they can elicit the outcomes they want. And
Mm,
so this is fun. Roshana, I know you know a lot about this as well. This is just fun. And it's amazing how when I started applying NLP to my business, the
mhm.
dramatic shift in results that I got. Not only was I better at communicating, because I was better at communicating, people understood me and understand what I want.
Mhm.
And, maybe they're able to give it to me then. And it's been so much fun to just get out of my own way
Mhm.
is really the best way to put it because we all have stuff to deal with. It's part of being
It's
human.
part of being
Once I
human.
was able to learn how to set that aside, things just got easier. So my goal and my purpose of running this class is to help these business owners and other professionals make things easier in business.
Mhm.
And then there's also the bonus of networking. You're meeting new people. I could talk about networking all day. Let's just help you make things easier so
Yeah.
your business gets easier. Because
Mhm.
sometimes you might have all the right mechanics. You just need that mindset shift or you need that additional clarity to get you to where you need to go. And so
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. That's going to be coming out in the first quarter of 2021. Very excited. It's such interesting stuff.
Yeah. What I love about it is when you're talking, I can hear in your voice how excited you are. And
Hmm.
that's a sign that you're on track to give your awesomeness to the world around
Hmm.
you and to the followers that you have, which is a phenomenal thing to do because it's important. And I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to know exactly where to find you. So again, we have been talking with Carmen Ventrucci of the True SISU Life. You can go to truesisulife.com to learn more about Carmen. You can also connect with her on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and follow the Ruby Road on YouTube because
Hmm.
that is where you will see all the ins and outs of her family's journey across and around the United States. So Carmen, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Rashana. My pleasure.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're welcome back anytime. And for other listeners that are wanting to be on the Awesomeness in Action radio show, if you're interested in sponsorship, commercials, getting your advertising and brand out there, email me at radio@giverofawesomeness.com. I want to thank all of our sponsors, Erie Success and Ilika Follett, for their continued support and sponsorship. Make sure you go to eriesuccess.com for more information and visit and connect with Ilika Follett on Instagram as the Keto Mommy Makeover. Until next week, Saturday, 3 p.m., I want you to be blessed and continue to know that awesomeness is in you. Take care, everybody. Thanks for listening.